Hello everybody and welcome to the 17th race of the 2023 Samsung Offline Racing League. We're here at the Rockingham Speedway for the fourth last race of the year. We've got 3 to go after this one and the championship is starting to heat up. We're here at Rockingham, North Carolina for 99 laps today, about just a little bit over 100 miles in length. Race length, 100.7 approximately if you round up. And this is one of the more unique racetracks on the schedule. High-banked, relatively interesting racetrack. It's very hard on the tires. Very hard tire wear racetrack, and along with Darlington next week, these are going to be the two most interesting racetracks in terms of that, how the drivers and the cars will handle the tire wear. It's going to be interesting to see how this race pans out, particularly with the championship. It's just kind of like all over the place every week. By the end of every week, a lot could change in this series in a very short span of time, and I'm sure last week was a great example of that with Dominic Anthony, who won the race. And even though guys like Samadeo, Troxel, and Perez finished top 10, they dropped a lot of points to Anthony, who took the championship lead for the first time this year thanks to that dominating win. He led the last 41 laps last time out at Charlotte. So we'll see what he could do. He starts a long way back in the number 39. He starts from 28th. That's it's definitely not an ideal starting spot for him. Back in the mid-pack. It can get quite crazy here at Rockingham. We can see a lot of 4 wide, not 4 wide, but 3 wide, and that usually doesn't end well. So Anthony kind of in the mid-pack on the outside. Not an ideal start for the number 39. Particularly when you consider the guy who's second in the championship starts in the top 10, Nicholas Samadeo in the 97. Starts from the 7th position. So he's a great starting spot for him. He could make up a lot of points today if the 39 doesn't have a good result. Thomas Troxel starts 40th. He is 3rd in the championship. Samadeo's 37 points behind, which sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Troxel's 56 behind. That's probably getting a bit large. Braden Perez, he's 4th in the championship, but he starts 31st. So another driver's got a lot of work to do right in the mid-pack. He's 73 behind. And Alejandro Cruz, who won at Chicagoland a couple of weeks ago, fell back to 5th in the championship because he was involved in that big one at Charlotte. Finished, I think it was 38th off the top of my head, and he starts 39th today. He's 5th in the championship, 79 points behind. Those are the only 5 drivers now within a race of the championship lead. So we're really whittling the field down. Henry Guo is 6th in the championship, but he starts 8th today. He's in 96 points behind. He could finish top 5 last time out, so he's hoping for another good run to stay alive in the championship. Brandon Beal, he's kind of fallen off recently in terms of performance, but he's 7th in the championship, 105 points behind. He starts from 21st. Owen Miles is 8th in the championship, 107 behind. He starts from 37th. A lot of work for him to do. Joseph Wright, who looked like he had the fastest car for a while there at Charlotte, he starts 36th. He's 109 points behind. And the guy who's 10th in the championship, Paul Antoine Sierre, as you can see in the number 69, starts on the pole this week. So Antoine Sierre has been a relatively consistent driver in the mid-teens most weeks in terms of results, so we'll be hoping for a top 5 and a win, definitely. And he's got a good shot from the pole. We'll go through the top 10 starting lineup. As I said, Antoine Sierre on the pole in the number 69, and he'll be joined by Ethan Lewis, who had a very strong 3rd place finish last week. That tied a season best. Echo Evans-Ross, Indianapolis winner. She's 11th in points, 140 points behind. She starts 3rd in the 62, and Zachary Fitzwater's been doing quite well in recent weeks in terms of the runs, and we're hoping to translate a 4th into another good strong run. Logan Thomas in the number 45 for Seminole Motors, who will start from the 5th position, and Eli Bryant in the number 12th in the championship, 149 points behind. He starts from the 6th position, hoping for a good run today. And there are 2 of our championship, the guys in the top 10 in points. Nicholas Samadeo, 2nd in the championship. Big day for him. If he could get a good result, you never know. Crazy things have happened. He starts from 7th, and Henry Guo in the number 71. He's 6th in the championship. Really needs a good run to stay alive in the championship. But he's got a good starting spot from the 8th position. And then the Kansas winner, John Stewart, He starts from the 9th position in the 22, and Roberto Crown Jr. rounds out the top 10 in the 52. Look at this one underway here at Rockingham for 99 laps. Not quite 100, just a little bit above. And we'll see the cars roll off, led by the pace car. And everybody's rolling off. There's Troxel. There's Alejandro Cruz. Two drivers that can still take the points lead if they win the race and Dominic Anthony has a poor run. They start on the penultimate row of the grid. There's Miles and Joseph Wright, the 2 and the 99. There's Braden Perez, starting from 31st. Started 33rd last week and moved his way forward. So keep an eye on the 92. Winner in Minnesota. And there is our previous winner and the championship leader, Dominic Anthony, from 28th on the grid. He's got a lot of work to do this afternoon if he wants to maintain that 37-point advantage, particularly with Sam Adio starting 7th. Pace cars on pit road. This one's going to get a bit crazy if I had to guess. Paul Tonsier and Ethan Lewis lead the field to the green here at Rockingham. Oh, and Lewis hit the outside wall there in the 00. That's one of the things they do a lot here. If you're that way outside, you hit the wall off of 2, you hit the wall off of turn 4. Looks like everybody got through unscathed in the first lap. They can typically crash on the first lap of action, but kept it all straight. Paul Antoine leads the first lap in the number 69 from the pole. Logan Thomas got off to a good start. He went from 5th to 2nd. Evans Ross falling back. Oh, there goes Garcia in the 33 and Francis in the wall. I'm not sure who else was involved. There's another car spinning. 33's kept it going. It's James Jefferson, the Las Vegas winner in the 54. And Samuel Francis in the wall again. Again. It's unbelievable. Pace car is out. Caution is out. Lap 3. So I told you, they do like to wreck early on. They didn't crash on lap 1. They crashed on lap 2. So there you go. Paul Antoine won the race back to the line. They won't be pitting here. I did say the high tyre wear, but I doubt they'll be pitting here on lap 2 unless you're one of the cars with damage. So the 54, 33, 21. We saw the 33 hit the outside wall. Just make sure nobody's coming down pit road. Doesn't look like it. So all the leaders staying out. But it looks like this. They're all just trying to get the order sorted. It didn't take long. It was Garcia, I think, hit the outside wall first. I think Jefferson's going to pit because he's got damage. Everyone else is going to stay out by the looks of it. Yes, they are. So, caution here on lap 3. It was Garcia in the outside wall. Start us off. So, as I said, 3 wide doesn't always work here. So they can get away with it sometimes, but quite often you see cars hit the outside wall and bounce back down the track. It's a very common sight here at Rockingham, and I think this is what's going to happen to Garcia. He's 3 wide, he's got Francis in the middle and Jefferson on the inside. Actually, Dominic Anthony's right behind all this in the 39, and luckily for him, I don't think he gets a piece of it. I think he gets by it. But Garcia hit the wall, bounced down into Francis, turned the 21 down into the 54, and Jefferson and Francis into the wall. And Samuel Francis. What an absolutely terrible year it's been for him. Let's just be honest. It has been a terrible year for him. And really, it's fallen apart for Crisis Racing Team. It's been a really, really tough going. Garcia was 3rd in points at one stage, and he's fallen back big time. But Francis has been eliminated from championship contention prior to this week. He's the only driver to be knocked out of championship contention. He's over a race behind the next car in points. He's 42nd in points, dead last, and is already... I don't know what I'm doing. He's already eliminated from championship contention. We'll take a look here for TV2. Spectators no good. The 3 wide, and you'll see Garcia will bounce off the wall. Bounce down to Francis. Comes down into Jefferson, who has nowhere to go. That's just what happens at Rockingham quite frequently. Luckily, only the 3 cars. Anthony did get by it, I think, totally unscathed. I don't think he got any piece of it. He was able to get down to the bottom pretty quickly as well. So, it's still a long way down the order. Still a lot of work for the 39, but he got through that. And that's important. Paul Antoine won the race back to the line. We should still have all 42 cars out there. And the lights are out on the pace car. So we're going to get This one back going. All the cars still out there. James Jefferson came down pit road in the 54 because of the damage. And I think Francis stayed out in the 21. And Garcia as well. Garcia actually didn't get too much damage. He hit the wall pretty hard on the right side, but Francis and Jefferson got more of it than he did. So anyways, Paul Antoine Sierra, the race leader still. Logan Thomas up to second. Echo Evans Ross down to third. Ethan Lewis down to fourth. He hit the outside wall as well, but he's still doing a decent job. And then Sam Adeo rounding out the top 5. Then Henry Gore, Zachary Fitzwater, John Stewart, Roberto Crown, and Brad Stover, the top 10. And we'll get this one underway once again. All good. Here we go. And green flags back out. We're underway once again. All 42 cars still on the racetrack. Evans Ross to the inside already, not wasting too much time trying to get back up to second. Got shuffled 3 wide early on. Thomas was aggressive on that original start of the race, made it 3 wide. Put Ethan Lewis on the way outside and Evans Ross in the middle. Worked out well for him. He got up to second, but now he's under pressure from the 62. And now Lewis diving to the inside, but unable to make a move. You got to be very close to the rear bumper of the car ahead. If you want to make a pass here at Rockingham, that's what you got to do. Because otherwise, more often than not, they'll just try and cut down in front. Particularly with the way tyre wear works and how hard it is on brakes. It's something to keep note of throughout this one. As Evans Ross trying to get that inside lane to work. The inside and the outside lane, they can both work. The inside lane prevails here. The outside lane will definitely rubber in though, and be the preferred line later on. But Evans Ross back up to second. Thomas now under pressure here from Lewis. Henry Gore up to 5th in the 71. He got around Sam Adeo. He's got Fitzwater all over the back of him, and then Stewart, Crown, and Stover the top 10. Fitzwater now to the inside for the 6th position as Lewis continues to work on Thomas in the 45. Oh, and big split of the pack. The 7 of Logan Williams here. I don't know how. Oh, the smoke. So something's happened. Still green by the looks of it, but something has happened there with a bit of smoke. Lap 11. I've got to remember that. Lap 11. We'll take a look at that later on. Try and figure out what happened. And we stay green, but it has split the field up all the way down. Travis Crampton in the 41. He's 12th at the moment. Everyone on back has been split away from the field. So whatever happened there, we'll have to look at that later on to try and figure out what actually happened there. Fitzwater trying to get that outside lane to work. Of Sam Adeo and Gore there, but he's under a bit of pressure. Roberto Crown Jr. here in the 52. Hasn't been a particularly great year for Roberto, but doing a decent job. Showed a bit of pace in practice as well in the 52, and we'll see what they can do tonight as they go to the inside here of Sam Adeo. Fitzwater trying to get that outside lane to work. Right now in the 6th position still. But right now, it is Paul Antoine Sierra still leading the way here in the 69. He's got a bit of a gap back to Echo Evans Ross. Lewis has got around Logan Thomas, so Lewis now up to 3rd. He had a great run last week. Thought he might have had a shot at Anthony there, but Chase Harris, his teammate, had other ideas in that one, and Harris went on to finish 2nd. Lewis finished 3rd. It's tied a season best for Lewis last week, so a very good, strong showing by the 00. Tom's behind. Sam Adeo trying to get that outside lane to work here on Fitzwater. Going to go off into 1 and 2. Looks like Fitzwater with the inside lane is going to drive it in and hold the spot. And Lewis has got around Evans Ross now, so must have got a good run off of turn 4. Something happened to the 62. But Lewis up to 2nd, and once again showing strong speed in that car. Championship is all but over for Lewis. I think that goes without saying. But yeah, he's 36 in the points. Let's see what he can muster here in these last 4 races. Well, yeah, 4 races including this one. The top 6 single file at the moment. It's obviously spread out field. Crown on the inside of Sam Adeo, and you've got Brad Stover on the inside of John Stewart. Eli Bright back in here with Crampton. Down to 12th. And then Logan Williams here in the 7th. Samet Oskin in the 74, who was very fast in practice as well. Keep an eye on the Bitnile Honda. Teammate to Ethan Lewis. And then you got Rogers back in here, who won at South Boston earlier in the year. There's Lamar Beals moving his way forward. Schlaughter right now, he's in 18th. There's Chase Harris, second last week in the 47. Sebastian Palmer rounds out the top 20. And there's the 39. There's the 92. Relatively close to one another. So Anthony has made a little bit of progress, but right now still 23rd at this point in time. And there's the 92 down in 27th. And you got Troxel, Cruz, Miles, and Wright all pretty close to one another as well. And I think you got everyone still relatively close to one another. Sam and Francis keeping up the pace at the rear of the field. Top 5 have broken away just a little bit from Fitzwater, who's kind of running in no man's land at the moment. You see these guys back here, Williams and Oskin, and you've got Rogers. They're starting to closing up back onto the back of this top 12. As Crown got a very poor run through turn 3 and 4. Now John Stewart to the inside here. Brad Stover. Crampton on the outside may make the most of that. Evans Ross is falling back here in the 62. She's fallen behind Henry Gore down to the 5th position. So Thomas to 3rd. Gore to 4th. Evans Ross down to 5th. Could be a big day for the 71. In terms of the championship. As I said, he's more than a race behind his teammate at this point. But with Anthony running mid-pack, could be a good day for the 71, but right now, nobody is catching Paul-Antoine Sierra. He's done a great job from the pole. Holding on to the lead. Well, not really holding on. He's got a bit of a gap back to 2nd in Lewis and Thomas. And this is one of the things we can see happen. We can see guys stretch away from the field if these guys just continue to battle. It's going to play into the hands of the 69 car. That's the 00 of Lewis. Now, under pressure here from Thomas, trying to get back to 2nd. And you've got Gore right there as well. That's tight. That's very close. No contact, I think, but Gore was right on that right rear of the 45, and he might actually get to 3rd. So you see the outside lane there. It can work. Fitzwater got around the 62, by the way. So he's into the top 5. But Gore got that outside lane to work for a little bit of time there. But Thomas back on the inside fighting back. It's a good racetrack in terms of both lines can work, given points. That's what you'd love to see. You'd love to see that. The top 6 are gone. Samadeo in 7th. Still within a 2nd, but doesn't really want to drop off the back of these guys. Gore might drop a spot here to Fitzwater. So Fitzwater up to 4th. And he's been having good runs the last couple of weeks. Good to see after what's been a pretty disappointing season for him. And 5th last week, a season best. Right now running in the 4th position. So one spot better than last week. That's where he started, of course, as well. Now it's going to the outside of Thomas. And Thomas is going to hold on that inside lane. You've got Evans Ross fighting back here in the 62 as well to the inside of Gore for that 5th position. Side by side, Gore's going to try and hold on to that outside lane, and he got it on that outside. All right, now half a second between 1st and 2nd. Antoine Sierra trying to run away from these guys. Of course, we will have a pit stop in this race. Be well over halfway. We might see guys pit earlier, like way earlier. I would be willing to say maybe, like, I don't know, 5-10 laps earlier, potentially, than some other guys. And that'll be interesting because obviously when you get on the fresh tyres here at Rockingham straight out of a pit stop, other guys are still on the old tyres. The lap speed difference is phenomenal. So it's something to keep an eye on later on in this race. But 69 doing a good job out in front. Battles on here. Fitzwater, Gore, Evans, Ross, 4th, 5th, 6th. Losing a bit of time to the leaders. Here goes Gore again to the inside of Fitzwater. And it looks like the 71 might be able to grab the spot here. Logan Williams in the 7 back there has done a really nice job. He's cracked the top 10. He was part of that little breakaway as the field got split up, but he's moving his way forward. And of course, he's a teammate to Henry Gore. It's not been a great season for Williams. He's 41st in the points, and on the verge of being eliminated from championship contention. But right now with a very strong car and something to keep an eye on, perhaps, in this one. Gore gets around Fitzwater, or maybe not. Fitzwater driving in a bit harder there than the 71, trying to hold that outside lane and trying to hold the spot. See, into turns 1 and 2. Looks like Gore, I think, might clear him this time. And he does. Or does he? Well, he's clear of him. He's running a slightly lower line. Fitzwater goes a bit higher. Let's see, Samadeo, Stover, Crampton and Williams, they've all closed in. They were about 4 seconds off the lead at one stage, and they've now closed onto the back of the guys ahead. The 62, the 24.71 is Fitzwater again. Here we go. Antoine Sierre must have made a mistake because he lost a lot of ground. It was nearly, I want to say 0.6 of a second, but now Lewis applying the blowtorch to the back of the number 69 for Monkey Racing. Now he's going to get jumped though because here comes the 45 at Thomas. And he made it easy. Nicely done there by Thomas. Gets up into second. And now may try and go for the lead here on Paul Antoine Sierre. That's 69. Lewis falling back a little bit. 69 may be struggling on his tyres just a little bit here. Here goes Thomas. To the inside here for the lead. About a third of the way through the race here. Let's see. Can the 45 clear here? 3 and 4, I think he might get it. No, not quite. Antoine Sierre's going to fight back on the outside, but Thomas leads at the line anyway. That's the first, that'll count as the lead change, that one. First lead change of the afternoon. Antoine Sierre fighting back on that outside lane. And Gore's joined the fight here in the 71. He's 4th now, going for 3rd underneath the Lewis. There's a bit of a gap back to 5th on back. Side by side to the line again. Thomas looks like he'll get it again. Leads another lap. Can he clear Antoine Sierre here into 1 and 2? And then Gore's right behind this as well. He's right in this fight now as well. He might make it 3 wide here if Thomas isn't careful. Is he gonna do it? Oh, he looked. Thomas opened the door a little bit, but didn't do anything about it. Did the 71. Antoine Sierre got that outside lane working, and he effectively holds the lead, even though the 45 led a couple laps. Now Gore on that outside lane. Again, got very close to the right rear of Thomas. It's the 2nd time we've seen that. You got Fitzwater closing in here as well. So this lead battle, kind of slowing each other down just a little bit. Gore on that outside lane. Thomas on the inside. And Gore on that outside lane powers off at turn 4, and he gets 2nd at the line. See if he might be able to clear him here off of 2 and then go after Antoine Sierre. Potentially. Looks like he will be able to clear, and he does. Now Lewis trying to get on the outside. They're trying to freight train on the outside of the 45. You don't see that particularly often at any racetrack. But if you are going to see it, you are going to see it here at Rockingham. Gore's all over the back of Antoine Sierre already. So the 71's coming alive here. The back end, well, here in this part of the stint. Dropped off a little bit there off the back of the 69, but still relatively close. Thomas was able to hold on to 4th. He's able to hold off Fitzwater. Brad Stover here, Fitzwater's teammate for Team Velocistar. Trying to get to the inside of Evans Ross. That's 6th. You got Crampton. Crampton's having a very nice run. He's had a disappointing season. He's 39th in the championship. So he's way down in the points. He and Williams, both with great runs today. They're 8th and 9th. And Samadeo has dropped to 10th. So here we go for the lead. Gore's going to the inside here. Oh, we had to Antoine Sierre. You see, 71 backed off a little bit there. You had to. Was a bit concerned maybe about the grip down there and the potential of making that turn without just didn't want to hit the 69 if I had to guess. So he backed out a little bit. as Antoine Sierra was able to cut down in front. And now Lewis may look to the inside here. Thomas may look to the inside of the 00. Perhaps they might go 3 wide into turn 1. They will not. Lewis can be hard to pass here at Rockingham at times for the lead. And we've seen that with Antoine Sierra. He's led basically every lap. 45 led 2 laps, but couldn't clear him in that time span. And you see Lewis struggling there on the bottom. So the outside lane's well truly come into its own here in this this phase of the race. We've still got a long way to go. The top 5 have dropped. Well, we wouldn't really say it's dropped, as Fitzwater ran pretty high up there, and Stover now closing in the 2 BMW Velocity entries. Lewis here under pressure from Thomas. See if the 45 can do anything about it. And they're losing a lot of ground. Look how much ground that they lost on that lap to the 69 and the 71. And now Thomas trying to get to the inside here. And Thomas unable to hang on that inside lane. Lewis drove it in just a little bit harder, a little bit deeper, and was able to clear the 45. But the 45 might fight back here. To the inside again on the front stretch. And into turn 1. The battle rages on. And it looks like this time he's got him. So Thomas will get back up into the 3rd position. He's cleared. We'll see if Lewis will try and fight back, potentially on the outside. He runs it in a little bit higher up. Leaves him a little bit vulnerable to Fitzwater, but should be able to hold on to 4th. Thomas back to 3rd. And Antoine Sierra's done a great job in this race. He's been able to hold the lead. He's stretched that gap back to the 71. So he's doing a really nice job of things right now, Antoine Sierra. He's 10th in the points. He's 133 behind. So it's a fair way off Dominic Anthony coming into this week. But right now, to get the full 86 points, it'd be his first win of the year. He'd be in Monkey Racing 2nd. And he, well and truly, get somewhat back into it. Samuel Francis here in the 21's off the pace. He's keeping minimum speed, clearly. Oh, a little bit of damage on the right side of the 26 as well. So Lee must have hit the wall, probably off of turn 2, I suppose. She's way down the order. But, Francis in the 21, they are going to catch up to him. Right now, if he were to finish here, he would be his 5th. I said last week was his 5th last place finish of the year. It was actually his 4th. But it would be his 5th if he were to stay in that position. The margin is nearing a 2nd. Antoine Sierra has found another gear here. And has dropped Gore a little bit. See what the margin is across the line. Gore's, I think, probably closed in just a smidge, not a lot. He gained a bit. About a 10th and a bit. Thomas a 2nd now behind the 71. Don't want to be more than a 2nd behind, really anywhere, but certainly here at Rockingham. And Stover and Stover and Evans Ross, they've closed in. Crampton's closing in here as well. There's Williams, you got Samadeo. Crown's still relatively here, and then there's a bit of a gap back to Stewart and Rogers. There's Eli Bright, Garrett Lamar. There's Beale, you got Schlaughter in 17th. Sebastian Palmer, Fisher G in the top 20 at the moment, and there is the points leader. Tell you what, Alejandro Cruz has been on the move quite a bit. The fact he's got back to the 39 is quite impressive there. And right now, oh, we got a caution on the racetrack. Cement Oskin is stopped on pit road. If we could get to him, that would be brilliant. Now this will be we're just right at the halfway point now, so they will pit. They will be able to make it. Well, that changes a lot. So the 74, who was fastest in practice, not sure what the issue is, but he's out of the race. Well, that changes a lot. That's not what Paul Antoine Sierra wanted to see, because he had quite a gap back to Gore. So I think it must have been a mechanical failure in the 74, because I didn't see any smoke on the racetrack. So we'll look at that one, and we'll look at what happened on lap 11 as well when we've got the chance. We'll use this as the opportunity. Now, weirdly, Antoine Sierra does not have the last pit stall. Even though he's the pole sitter, he doesn't have the last pit stall. For some reason, Owen Miles has it. I have no idea why that's the case, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Miles is still miles down the order. NR2003 wins the race off a pit road, but Thomas jumps Gore. So that's a change for position. So Thomas now to second, Gore to third. And then Lewis and Brad Stover now into the top 5 in the 29. And Semenoskin out of the race. Oh, that's not good. Contact between Troxel and Fitzwater. And Fitzwater was running 5th at the time. I think he's gonna lose a lap here unless he gets going. That's a massive shame for the 24. He's gonna lose a lap. So he must have had a poor pit stop, and then whatever happened with Troxel on pit road. Oh, damage as well. That's another Velocitar car. So 3 Velocitar cars with issues. Noah Clifton in the 25 as well. There's Troxel. So all kind of going on. Max Davis with damage as well. So must have been a lot that happened on pit road there. Let's take a look what happened to the 74. Let's see, where is Semenoskin? He was running. Oh, he's, yeah, blown up. There you go. So that would do it. Yeah, blown up. He parks it on the front stretch, on the apron. And Francis is right by him. So the caution comes out because of that. Because of Francis. I'll tell you what, Gord actually closed in quite a bit. But they dropped Thomas. So that's frustrating there, because Thomas has obviously now jumped the 71 on pit road. So he closed in quite a bit on NR2003 the last few laps before the caution came out. So that changes quite a bit in this one. And then there was an incident on lap 11. So we'll figure that out as well. What lap are we on? I think we're on 52, so let's see what happened here. Oops. So it was back there somewhere. We'll just follow back here, see what happened back at the field. There you go. You can see the smoke. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Kelly Lee, 26. So this is why the field split up. And contact with Clifton, gets into the right rear, a little bit sideways, up into the wall. That's where Clifton got his damage. So that explains a lot. That's where Lee got her damage. And then a little bit more on the exit. That scatters the field. No caution for it. They kept it going, but that's why the 25 and the 26 have their damage. So that explains quite a bit. I was a bit confused by that, but yeah. It explains quite a bit. But anyways, Blind puts here as the race leader still. See if we can get back to the restart. Here we go. Lights are out. So Oskin out of the race. And Fitzwater a lap down. Where's the 24? Fitzwater may be out of the race. No, he's still on pit road. So I think he's going to lose another lap. I think he's actually going to be 2 laps down. He's still on pit road. He might be out of the race. Maybe there is more to it than that. Contact between Troxel and Fitzwater. That's a pretty poor. That's pretty frustrating for Velocitar. The Clifton at the back as well. So that's very disappointing for those guys at Velocitar, particularly when Fitzwater was top 5 and had a pretty good car. Tough break for him. NR2003 is the race leader still. Then Logan Thomas. Then Henry Gore. He's 3rd. Ethan Lewis is 4th, and Echo Evans Ross the top 5. Pace car will pull onto pit road. 24 has gotten going again, so he will be able to continue, but I think he's like 2 laps down now. Green flag, here we go. Second restart of the day. A good restart for Brad Stover. He's up here. He's the sole remaining Velocitar car at the front of the field, but he's doing a good job. The inside up into 5th. Getting around Echo Evans Ross. That opens the door for Logan Williams in the 7. Got Samadeo still up here. You got Stewart in the 22. Roberto Crown Jr. in the top 10 as well. 7 to the inside here. Trying to get around this 62 early on while we got the fresh tyres. Got to make the most of those opportunities. Lewis looking to the inside of Gore now for the 3rd position. And Gore again, he'll be frustrated because he had that gap on Thomas. before the pit stop, before the caution, and then end up losing a position on pit road. Here we go again. Thomas looked to the inside, unable to get around Antoine Sierre. Pretty close there. There's Fitzwater. Stover has got around Ethan Lewis, so he's up to 4th. He's had a good restart in the 29. Williams got around the 62, which is good for him. And you got Roberto Crown Jr. here on the inside of Stewart. This is for 9th. You got Crampton trying to get his way back in the top 10. He must have lost spots on pit road as well. Can they do anything here about Antoine Sierre in the 69? That's the question. They're all over the back of him, and now Gwar to the inside here of the 45. I think Thomas wanted that outside lane there around the outside of Antoine Sierre, but didn't get it. And then Gwar took advantage and up into 2nd now. So we'll try and go after Antoine Sierre here for the race lead. You got Stover right there. Lewis, you've still got Sam Adio up here. You see Anthony back down the order as well. Right now, Anthony crossed the line last time, was 22nd. So Sam Adio doing a good job. So is Gwar. And Antoine Sierre, for that matter, of course. They're all up in the top 10 in points. Gwar now, where can he make this move? This is where you see Stover now looking to the inside, but we've seen it's hard to get around to 69. He's done a good job. No one's actually like properly got ahead of him. The 45 got a nose ahead early on at the line, but no one's really been able to get around Antoine Sierre just yet. Stover for 3rd now. And he will get it. Thomas back to 4th. How about Williams here? I like Logan Williams' chances in this race of a good result because that car looks pretty quick. He's been able to move his way through the field. He lost a lot of time early on thanks to the incident with Kelly Lee and Noah Clifton. And moved his way back up into the top 10. Like his chances here. Goes Stover down to the inside. He's been on the tear since the restart in that 29 car. And he's going to get Gwar here for 2nd. I think should be able to clear. We'll see if he does. Yes, he will. Now Gwar under pressure here from Thomas back to that inside lane. Oh, we got another caution on the racetrack. Oh, big crash, big crash. Rogers around. Joseph Wright around. Owen Miles, Kyle McLeese and more. Will Parrish involved. The 39 may have been involved potentially. The 99 on pit road. Parrish's right front is completely destroyed. Troxell's involved. The 27. That's bad for him. Kelly Lee in the 26 again involved. Rogers are 2 of the Amaris Nichols cars. James Stack involved potentially in the 23 as well. So a lot of cars caught up in this one in turn 3 and 4. And of course we won't see any cars pit. But except for the ones that of course have damage. Well, that's a terrible, terrible outcome for Thomas Troxell in particular and Joseph Wright. Miles as well. A horrible, horrible moment in the championship for those guys. Let's take a look at what happened here. See, there's you got Parrish up here, the 02. Battling with Chase Harris. And Anthony again right behind this. Is this in front? Oh, yeah, it is. No, never mind. It's Rogers and Bright. So 2 of the veterans making a bit of contact. And this is kind of what we saw early on with Lee and Clifton. Just got the right rear and never got off of that. Turns the 9 sideways. The 9 was not able to hold on to it like Lee was. They go up into the wall. And a lot of damage now on the 12 of Bright. And it's going to be Parrish who's going to run into this right about now. Right there, bang. Rips the whole right front out of the 02. And see, Chase Harris gets a piece of it. Anthony, I think, gets through. Looks like Perez going to get through. Looks like Cruz will get through on the outside. James Stack will not be so fortunate here in the 23, I think. Right there, he gets into Rogers. There's McLeese, Miles, and then Joseph Wright. Wrong place, wrong time. And smashes the driver's door of the 9, and then we see how much air the Rogers gets. It's a very big hit on the driver's door. Jefferson will get through it. Looks like Clifton will get through it. Troxell will run into it here. I think it'll run straight to the back of Rogers. Sam Francis got through it. And that's how Lee... Yeah, so Troxel ran into Rogers and Lee was going to get through it, but Rogers came down the racetrack after the hit from Troxel. That finished off the 26. That's two of the Amaris Nichols cars. So Isaac Nichols will not be thrilled. It's been a very, very hard season for those guys. And two of their cars out of this one. Troxel out. Owen Miles actually didn't get that much damage. I think he's going to be relatively okay. Joseph Wright out of the race, though, is a big result as well. A lot going on. We'll follow with Rogers here because he's pretty much involved in the whole thing. Bang. There's one. And that's the hit. That one there from Wright was really hard. And then that from Lee coming in as well. If that was real life, that would be a concussion, surely, for the 9. And probably a few others as well. In fact, there might be more than that, but I don't know. But a lot of damage there. A lot of good race cars. Number of cars in the top 10 in points coming into this week as well. Also involved. With those guys out, Antoine Sierre has led so much of this race. If we can win this one, move up a long way in the championship. Let's see here, pace car lights are still on, and now they're off. So, we're going with 34 to go. So Rogers out of the race, Kelly Lee, Joseph Wright. I think Fitzwater is, Fitzwater's still on the racetrack. Fitzwater's still on the racetrack. Troxel, I don't think he's still on the racetrack. I think he's out. We'll see when it updates. Yep, so he's out. I think James Stack is out. And Will Parrish is definitely out. So, there you go. Big result for Troxel. Third in the points coming in. 56 behind. And he's going to lose a lot of ground. Even if the 39 doesn't get a great result. Because Sam Adeo up here in the top 10 still. Going to lose a lot of ground to him. Might be a terminal blow for the championship. Antoine Sierre, Brad Stover, Henry Gore, Logan Thomas, and Logan Williams. The top 5. With Sam Adeo, Lewis, Echo Evans, Ross, Roberto Cran Jr., and John Stewart, the top 10. Third restart of the day. Here we go. 34 laps to go. Still got a third of the race left. Decent restart for the 69. Stover didn't really get going as much as I think he wanted to. Opened it up a little bit to Gore, but he got a good run off at turn 2. Got Thomas here, under pressure from Williams. The two Logans going at it. Top 3 are all over the back of each other. Here goes the 29 now to the inside here for the lead. No one's been able to really get around this 69 yet. Stover's had a good couple of restarts. He had a good restart last time to get up there. Gore looking to pounce as well and all this. Williams up to 4th behind. And the 29 looks like he's got it. He clears the 69. So the first time the driver's actually got ahead of the 69 all race long. So there you go. We'll see how Antoine Sierre can respond. But a good run for Stover. He leads the race now as Williams up to 4th around Thomas. He's one to watch now because his car's been very, very fast in this race. Sam Adeo right on the back of Thomas. Lewis has dropped back to 7th. Evans, Ross, Crown, and then a big battle here. This could be a big day for Brandon Beal as well. I was going to say Bradley Beal. Brandon Beal in the 37. Now here comes Gore to the inside. Looking to the inside here for the 2nd spot. Unable to get alongside the 69 just yet. Sam Adeo. We got another caution on the racetrack. Oh, this is a big one. Caleb Rose. Not sure there was another car on pit road. I wasn't able to pick it up who it was. So another yellow. 4th of the day. It's Jefferson again. 54 involved for the 2nd time today. And that one's a big one. You see the damage on those two cars. Stover won the race back to the line. I think they're going to calm themselves down. That's all good. So we'll take a look at what happened here. Another yellow. Let's see what happened here. So Rose and Jefferson battling each other into turn 1. And yeah, another one in the right rear. Gets the 32 sideways. Jefferson sideways. slide up the racetrack. Oh, and then Jefferson hooks the 32 up into the wall. And whoa, there it goes. Whoa. Well, that's not the first time Caleb Rose has been in a physics-defying accident this year. If you go back to Texas post-race, he had one of those, and Jefferson did a barrel roll there. And Rose is stuck in the wall. Yeah, I can see why he's out of the race. Yeah, no, I can totally see why he's out of the race. He's stuck in the wall in turn 1. Oh, dear. This game's great sometimes. It's just those two. You see, it looks the right rear. Look at that. It launched the 54. The way the 54 launched there was unbelievable. And immediately, yeah, it did not take long for them to get towed back. Did not take long at all, but 54-32. Yeah, I mean, they're out of the race, I think. Just maybe, potentially. Oh, dear. Dear, oh, dear. Another caution. Oh, and there's more! Fisher G turned into the wall. Oh, my goodness. Alejandro Cruz got a piece of it. Didn't see this after the yellow. What on earth was that about? I did not see that after the caution. So, after the yellow, again, it's after the yellow. This time it's the left rear. It's Jared Oren who turns G around up the racetrack. Now that we haven't seen too often this year. Sebastian Palmer gets a piece of it. Slaughter, bang, he gets quite a bit of it. New Nagbar. Cruz got a little piece of it, but I think he'll be okay. I don't think any of these guys actually ran into the back of each other here. I think they all did a good job in slowing it down. But that was weird. Oh, Jerry Chan ran into the back of the 25 of Clifton, but that's only a minor hit. That's weird. We haven't seen that too often this year. I guess it's been kind of bizarre. One of those bizarre races, I guess. There might be something coming the way of Jared Oren, I think. Because that's not on, to say the least. I think Perez did a good job. I think he got through it. Like, totally unscathed. And, yeah, that was unnecessary. That whole incident was very unnecessary. I don't know why the 72 did that, but, yeah. Well, anyway, Brad Stove is still the leader. That's still on. Lights are out. We'll see here. The 28's still on the racetrack, I'm pretty sure. So, obviously the 32 and the 54 are out. That's no surprise in the slightest. G is still ahead of Oren because of the fact that he raced back to the line and he was ahead. So, I don't know. Maybe Oren was not happy with the way he was raced by Fisher G, but potentially a bit of retaliation under the caution. We'll see how the 28 holds up on the restart. But anyways, Brad Stove is the race leader. Paul-Antoine Sierre, Henry Gore, Logan Williams, Logan Thomas, the top 5. Then Sam Adeo, Lewis, Crown, Echo Evans-Ross, and John Stewart still in the top 10. So, we're going to be going here with 26 to go. So, we've got still about a quarter of the race left to go. It's been a long one. Been quite a bit of action in this one, quite in terms of the wrecks. Got a long, clean, green stint. But it's all devolved into a bit of chaos. But Brad Stover took the lead on the last restart. He's been great on the restarts. We'll see what he can do here. He's under pressure from the 69. As Williams did not get going in the 7. Here we go. Antoine Sierre has got an opportunity there. He looking to the inside. Here he goes. Has he got a run? No, he will not. He does not have a good enough run. Nice job by Stover. Ran up the racetrack quite a bit, but was able to hold the position, able to hold the lead. And Gore looking to try and find a way around the 69, potentially. It might open the door for Williams here in the 7. Let's see here. Antoine Sierre's going to cover the bottom. Now Williams is going to dive to the bottom. Gore's going to go to the top, and he's going to try and utilize that little bit of extra acceleration off the turn. Side by side down the front. Samadeo dives to the inside of Thomas for 5th position, and Guo looks like he'll get Antoine Sierre. So the 71 on the outside. I think they're 3 wide back down the order. Doesn't really matter at the moment. Guo's up into 2nd place here. If he can win this race, Henry Guo, it'd be a massive result for the championship. Williams now on the inside. They're nearly 3 wide as here comes Ethan Lewis trying to get to the inside. Thomas shuffle back big time in the 45. And he grabs the outside wall just for good measure. So Guo now up to 2nd. Can he do anything about Stover here with 22 laps to go this time? It's all going on behind. Roberto Crown Jr. getting into the fight here in the 52 car. Trying to get to the inside of the 00. 00 trying to get the outside lane to work. Here we go. Here comes Guo to the inside of Stover. Oh, Stover cuts down into turn 3. I thought the 71 would be able to get to that inside lane and make that, or at least give him a bit more of a fight, but Stover was having none of it. Of course, these two guys have won this year. Stover won at Talladega, Guo won at Texas. Antoine Sierre still there. Williams, Samadeo still 5th. There's a lot going on back here. You got Brandon Beal trying to get his way into the top 10 as well. Garrett Lamar here in the 31. Thomas has been shuffled back big time on the restart. Is now behind John Stewart. I think he's 10th. Yes, he is. The Stewart now finds his way on the bottom. On the inside of Evans Ross. A lot going on. Here comes Antoine Sierre for 2nd. He wants to get that lead back. I think we got another caution. Yes, we do. Another caution. Kyle McLeese in the wall this time. Racing it back. Guo's going to get 2nd. Across the line, we'll have another restart. And this race really has devolved into a bit of madness. Looks like Miles may have been involved in the 2 as well. So another caution. I've lost track. I think this is the 5th now. Pretty sure. But Brad Stover is able to hold off the challenge. He'll lead the field back to green. And maybe a bit of contact here on the... Oh, Travis Crampton in the 41 has damage as well. So more extracurricular after the yellow potentially. That's a shame for Crampton. He was having a good run in this one. We'll take a look at what happened. I was gonna say we saw more sort of pieces here. It was into turn 1, and this is what's okay. This is right rear again. Yes, it is right rear. It's what we've seen all day. This time, McLeese spins up the racetrack, miles into the wall. McLeese backs it in, and yeah, another caution. Miles into the wall, he drops back, and we've seen that a number of times throughout this race. It's been such a constant with the guys on the right rear. Saw the 45 and the 71, they nearly got into each other a couple times early on. But this time a bit of contact up in the wall, and man, it's not been a great day for these two guys. It's not their first accident either, as Miles hits the wall again, just for good measure. So it's not been a great day for either of them. The second accident that they've been involved in. Now, what happened here? Crampton. Oh, I said Jared Oren again. Oh, it's Oren. So this may be Oren again. Left rear. And yeah, this one may be a penalty, I reckon. Because, yeah, turns him into the wall. That's, yeah. Yeah, that's I reckon the stewards will be coming down on that one. That's twice the 72's done that. And Travis Crampton, man, that's so disappointing. He was running up in a good spot, and then that happens. And wow. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I didn't think Jared Oren would do that twice, but he did. And where was he? He was 13th, so he's on track for a top 15 finish, and then yeah, that's quite a hit to the inside wall as well. What a massive shame. And, yeah, I'm sure there'll be something delivered to the 72, because that's ridiculous. I think that was all under the caution, so we'll go back to green. Brad Stover is the race leader still. And we'll have 15 laps to go here. Lights are out on the pace car. We'll see if we'll have another caution potentially. We've had 5 of them now, I think, off the top of my head. It's turned into a bit of a wreck fest. It was relatively clean for a while there, but as I said, it's gone downhill recently. But Brad Stover's still the leader. Gore's still Henry Gore's second. Antoine Sier third. Logan Williams, Nicholas Samadia now into the top 5. Then you've got Roberto Crown Jr., Ethan Lewis, John Stewart, Echo Evans Ross, and Logan Thomas, who dropped a long way on that restart. Should still have everybody in the race. Crampton now a lap down. Jefferson, yeah, so... Actually, I think the 41's out of the race. So I think the 41 is now out of the race. So Travis Crampton... That will definitely be... There will be a penalty I would be willing to suggest to the 72 for that. Because that's the second time he's done that. He's taken Crampton out of the race. Anyways, we're back underway. 15 laps to go. Less than 15 laps to go. And Crown wasting no time going to 5th. Underneath the Samadio. Samadio drives it in hard and high into turn number 3. And how about that? Good strong run off the turn. I think Gore got a little bit loose off of turn 4. And that's going to put him under a bit of pressure here because Antoine Sier looking. Logan Williams looking in the 7 as well. And all it does is allow Stover to get away even more. He got a good restart there in the 29. Oh, they're all sizing each other up here. Antoine Sier did not have a great run. They're holding up Williams. It's going to allow Gore to get away. Samadia now closing in. Here goes the 7. Here goes the 97. Maybe 3 wide into turn 1. He backs out of it. But Williams going for 3rd now underneath of Antoine Sier, who's fallen. It's just fallen back more and more. He's led so much of this race. He's led well over half the race. And he's back down to 4th as Williams is now cleared. Maybe he has a shot for the win here. Stover now with 2 of the Gifford cars right behind. And you've got Samadio here trying to get past the 69, and he does. So Samadio up to 4th now. So Antoine Sier back to 5th. And maybe even worse, because Roberto Crown Jr. looking back here in the 52. Got the 00 of Lewis. Now to the inside of Crown. Won't be able to get anything done. Crown back to 6th. Well, hold on to 6th, rather. Antoine Sier back to 5th. And now Samadio going after the 7 once again. Side by side, down the back. Williams cuts down in front of the 97. He got a good run off 2. Was able to hold on. Stover holding a 4/10 of a second gap. Back to Gore. We'll see what that margin is across the line. We've got 10 to go. It's about 4/10 still. Antoine Sier's lost another position. This time Roberto Crown Jr. into the top 5. Oh, and there was definitely contact. That was contact between Samadio and Williams. But luckily, they didn't hook each other and didn't turn each other in the wall. That could have been very ugly. Samadio and Williams, they stay 3rd and 4th. Antoine Sier back to 6th. How about this for the dominant car of the day? Losing out big time. Now Williams to the inside here of Henry Gore. This is for 2nd. Gore's going to hold on to that outside lane. Got the run off turn 4. 8 laps to go. Samadio looking to the inside as well here of the 7. Not able to do anything about it. Garrett Lamar has moved his way into the top 10 here in the 31. He's done a nice job today. He's up to 8th. Gets around John Stewart here. There's Beal in the 37. 72 is still out there. Surprised nothing's been done about that incident. Maybe it's a post-race thing, potentially. But, we'll see what happens there. Stover still holding the lead here. Becoming to 6 to go this time. No drivers won multiple races this year. And we got Right now, the top two guys both have won this year. As I said, Talladega for Stover, Texas for Henry Gore, and then Gore's pulled away here from Williams. He's under a lot of pressure now from Samadeo and Crown. Crown ran very high there into turn 1 and 2. Evans Ross is falling back in a big way, and now Samadeo tried to get underneath of the 7, wasn't able to do anything about it. We got 5 laps to go, and now you'd like to, if you're Brad Stover, you want to see a caution right now. It's got 5 laps to go. If we have a caution, the race is over. But Gore is still there. He is still right. He's still got a very good chance here. He's just got to close in just a bit more. It's just not quite close enough. Now he's got a chance. Now he's got to run through 3 and 4. Here comes the 71 with 4 laps to go. Can he get to the inside there into turn 1? He will not. He's going to hold off for the time being. I think it's going to be one of these two guys. I can't see the 7 or anybody back behind them. Can't see them getting close enough and getting around either one of the 29 or the 71. Good corner there. Good turn 3 for Stover. With 3 laps to go now this time. Hasn't been a great day for Velocistars. Troxel out of the race. Fitzwater had his issues. Clifton had his issues. And yet Brad Stover now pulling away from Henry Gore. Samadeo going for 3rd underneath the Logan Williams. Side by side into 3. 7 trying to fight back on that outside lane. We got 2 laps to go. Stover has pulled out a gap here on the 71. It might be all Stover. Looking good. Samadeo up to 3rd. He gets around Logan Williams. And now Crown going for 4th as well. We're coming to the white flag this time. Gore trying to get back to him, but I don't think he's close. He's not going to be close enough here on this white flag lap. 1 to go for Brad Stover, the winner at Talladega. Looking for a 2nd win of the year. Williams falling back on the outside. Antoine Sierre going for 5th back in there. Gore is not going to get to him, and Brad Stover is going to become the first driver to win multiple races in 2023. Checkered flag in the air for Brad Stover. He wins at Rockingham. The first driver to win multiple races this year. In the number 29, he wins here at the Rock. Dwayne gets the job done. Nicely done, Brad Stover. And it was all that those restarts there. He was able to move his way through the field on the restarts, and he gets the job done this afternoon. Henry Gore, still a very good day. 2nd place. Would have been great to finish with the win, but 2nd is nothing to sneeze at. Samadeo 3rd. That's a very good result for Samadeo. I think that's one of his best results since Auto Club earlier in the year, off the top of my head. So great result for the 97. Roberto Crown Jr. as well. 52 in 4th. Very nice run from them. And Antoine Sierre, Paul Antoine Sierre, you've got to feel bad in a sense because he led so much of that race and he ends up in 5th. And that's one that will sting quite a bit. Logan Williams, Garrett Lamar. Nicely done from Garrett Lamar. Moved up to 7th. Ethan Lewis, John Stewart, and Logan Thomas, the top 10. Beal ended up 11th. Evans Ross ended up 13th. Jared Oren, 14th. But I would suspect that there'll be something coming his way after what happened in that one. Benny Watson back in there. Brad Perez finished 17th. Alejandro Cruz 20th. So not exactly ideal results for those two. It could have been a lot worse though. I'll look further down. Dominic Anthony 22nd. So 22nd for the 39 for our points leader coming in. So he was nowhere all day. He was basically nowhere all day. So just a horrific run for Anthony, particularly with Samadeo finishing 3rd. Samadeo, I think Samadeo will retake the championship lead. So I think Samadeo will get it now once again. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head by 12 points. So I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. But I'm pretty sure that's that's going to be the difference there. So, poor day for Anthony. Now he's back behind the 97 in the championship once again. And look through the rest of the results. And, Crampton out of the race. So, that's a shame for the 41. But most notably here, Thomas Troxell in 38th position is the notable driver out of the guys out of the race. And a massive turn in the championship for him. And looking pretty hard to get back now, particularly with Sam Adio third. Going to retake the championship lead. And, not looking good for the 27. No doubt about that one. But it's his teammate who becomes the first driver to win multiple races this year. It's taken a long time, 17 races, but we have gotten there. And congratulations to Brad Stover. Thoroughly deserved win this afternoon. And next race, we're at Darlington, so tyre wear is also going to come into play. And clearly the 29 was pretty good in that regard, so he'll be one to watch next time out. The 71 as well, of course, and Sam Adio, all these guys will be ones to watch. And then Nashville and Homestead to round out the year. And so we'll be back next week at Darlington. That should be fun. Looking forward to that. Thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to Brad Stover. We'll see everybody next week at Darlington. That will be... we'll see what happens in that one. Thanks so much for watching, and